our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
Get set for a night of non-stop laughs as the Box Elder Event Center welcomes comedian Michael Palisak.
When I was in college, my parents relocated to Chicago, and I found them.
After being a finalist on Last Comic Standing and appearances on Stephen Colbert and Conan, he's coming to Rapid City Saturday, May 31st.
The closest thing we have to a gang is the Future Farmers of America.
Advance tickets are just $20 at the Box.Live. Don't miss Michael Palisak at the Box Elder Event Center, Saturday, May 31st.
Hey, sports parents and ballers of all ages, Rapid City has a new sports facility that you have to check out. E3 Sports Complex on East North Street is the newest indoor sports facility featuring 4 full courts. E3 Sports is here to serve the community and wants all athletes of any age to come and experience expert training, coaching, and the opportunity to unlock your athletic potential. Memberships and court rentals are available now. Come to play at E3 Sports Complex. Learn more at e3sports.org.
Get away from it all in the great outdoors for lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. We make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
2-year, $30 million extension with $25 million guaranteed. The NBA today fined Golden State's Draymond Green $50,000 for making an inappropriate comment questioning the integrity of game officials during Game 3 of the Western Conference semifinals on Saturday. Tonight at 9:30 Eastern, it's Game 5 from Minneapolis, with the Timberwolves leading Golden State 3-1. Up first at 7 Eastern, Game 5 of the Eastern Conference semifinals from Boston, with the New York Knicks leading the Celtics 3-1. In Major League Baseball, the Minnesota Twins, on a 3-run home run by Cody Clemens, have an 8-6 lead at Baltimore in the bottom of the 8th inning. If the Twins win, it will give them a 10-game winning streak. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, we are ready and out of the gate on a Wednesday. Here we go. Locked and loaded. Great guest lineup. The Nate Brown Show is back on. Welcome in. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Let's get it going tonight. South Dakota Sports Talk Show is here, featuring great guests from South Dakota regionally and all across the country. We got it popping, some sports newsmakers on tonight. Wednesday's show looks good. Thought-provoking sports talk for the next 2 hours on Fox Sports Radio. Also, the Nate Brown Show streaming on Twitter right now. Welcome in. Stream us on Twitter at Nate Brown Show. Follow the show, and then you can watch the show every afternoon at Nate Brown Show on Twitter. And one more place, YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel. You've got this show digitally there, The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. It's always a great day in South Dakota. Here we go. Let's look at the guest lineup tonight. What's on Tap, brought to you by the new Campfire Bar, featuring 20 local brews on tap at the Campfire Bar inside Mr. Liquor 2 off Catron Boulevard. Stop into the Campfire Bar. It's that time of year. What's on Tap on the Nate Brown Show tonight? It is Jerry Brewer tonight, national sports columnist, Washington Post. We'll talk NBA, NFL. Jerry Brewer's in, national sports writer, Washington Post. Let's go South Dakota with Craig Mattick, SDPB Sports. It's our weekly hitter with Craig, live from SDPB. Craig Mattick, longtime sports broadcaster. Hey, we've got former Minnesota Viking tonight. Ben Leber's going to kick off the show. Former Vikings linebacker, now part of the Vikings radio network on KFAN. Ben Leber's in. in, talking Vikings schedule and more. What's he going to say about the back-to-back international games? Former player, I want to get his perspective. Ben Leber's on tap, and we'll preview the PGA Championship. Now, this is wild because people aren't used to this. Normally, that PGA Championship's been at the end of the summer. They've moved the schedule around the last few years. PGA Championship coming up this week. We'll take a look at the top bets with Mike Mendelson, PGA Pro, Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club. That's on tap. Some golf, some football, some hoops, some conspiracy theories. I mean, we got you covered tonight. The Nate Brown Show is on. Let's get you in if you want in. 605-720-1067 is your Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. 605-720-1067. Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch. I'll remind you, home of everyone's favorite buffet at 3809 East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. East Sioux Falls location, also in Brandon, and 2 locations in Rapid City. Stop by the Pizza Ranch tonight. Everyone's favorite buffet is at the Pizza Ranch. Let's get you on the text line. If you can't call, you can text. That's the next best thing. 605-720-1067. That's the Barron's Wilson text line for you, 605-720-1067. All right, I just want to have some fun tonight. Can we do this? Can we have a little fun? I've done a little bit of work this afternoon to provide some interesting South Dakota perspective, but I also wanted to talk about this thing from the last couple of days. There's a section of folks that want to believe that there are conspiracy theories that are true in sports. Now, there's a section of folks that want to believe in the conspiracy theories in our life as well. From politics to scandals. I mean, I understand that. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole tonight. I am going to go down the rabbit hole, and it's just a fun one. The sports conspiracy theories. I do believe every time, for example, when the Chiefs have something happen this past season, people actually, you know the great place to find your local conspiracy theorist? Right there on your Facebook page. Jimmy just knows exactly why the Chiefs have been favored. And the NFL has a giant conspiracy to allow the Chiefs to get to another Super Bowl, and they were supposed to win 3 in a row, but the Eagles spoiled it, right? So there are people, honestly, and I'm serious about this. I joke and I laugh because I do this radio show, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist mainly. I'm really not, although I am going to point out a couple of true conspiracy theories that I hope you understand tonight. I am going to pull out some true ones that I believe in. So maybe I should give you guys a pass that really believe the Chiefs get favored. Maybe I should give you a pass that there are some conspiracy theories that in sports that you think are actually, could be true. So let's go through this. And why do I bring this up out of the blue? What's happened the last couple of days? Everybody said that the NBA draft lottery, where they give the percentage chance to some teams, and it's a really low percent, the Dallas Mavericks, the 1.8% chance of getting the number 1 pick, and somehow the Mavericks got pulled out of the lottery, and so they get to get Cooper Flagg here in the NBA draft. And everybody that night, on Monday night, just went off. And I thought, well, this is just recency here, and people are going to go crazy for a little bit. There's still people talking about it. It's a conspiracy theory. The NBA draft lottery, nobody knows how they do it. You don't get behind the scenes, and it's a conspiracy that Luka went to the Lakers to get the ratings up for the regular season. So they let the Mavericks send Luka to the Lakers, get the ratings up. Then they told the Mavericks, you're going to get the number 1 pick. Do you guys really believe that? Do you really believe that? I know big business and some of that, we think there's a guy behind the curtain pulling the strings, making it all happen. The Chiefs winning 3 in a row. It was supposed to happen. It didn't quite. It got derailed, but they tried it. They tried it. The NBA lottery is rigged. That's a real conspiracy theory the last couple of days, that people think somehow the Mavericks were chosen. It all comes together. Why would they trade Luka? because they knew they were going to get Cooper Flagg in the number 1 pick. That is correct, right? Let me ask you, which sports conspiracy theory actually has the best chance of being true? It's one of the great questions of the day today. I want to have fun with this here. I'm going to throw in a couple of those for you in my options. The NBA lottery actually being rigged. There's no way we can think that the NBA somehow thought the Mavericks is the team that gets Cooper Flagg. They chose the Mavericks on purpose. They had it out against everyone else. They didn't want him to get buried in Washington Wizards or the Charlotte Hornets. They just had it out for everyone else, right? Which sports conspiracy theory has the best chance of actually being true? That's my question of the day. Let's throw out, I'm going to throw out a couple of them for you. So there's the NBA draft lottery being rigged. Do you believe that? Could it be rigged? This is one from the NFL season. I just referenced the NFL helps the Chiefs win. Now, there's two things here on that. Some people think the refs actually favor the Chiefs. Some people think it's the refs. Some people go deeper and say it's the NFL telling the refs, we have to have the Chiefs in the Super Bowl again. We have to have Mahomes and Kelsey and Taylor Swift and the whole story. We got to have that again. So whichever you believe in, the NFL helps the Chiefs win. That's a big one from this past season. How about this one here? Do we think Rob Manfred at Major League Baseball is juicing the balls to ramp up the runs, home runs? They were throwing this out in 2019. You remember this? Where the baseball was changed. It was manufactured different. They made it so it could fly a little bit better. They made it so, and Major League Baseball said, no, we haven't changed the baseballs. We haven't. Then later they admitted, well, we kind of changed the manufacturing, and maybe there was a little bit of more fly on the ball. Do you think the Major League Baseball, it was a conspiracy that we're going to drive up home runs and make this a story so we can have offense, so we're going to juice the baseballs? Juicing the baseballs is different than, well, the baseball was kind of manufactured different. Maybe it had a little more flight on it. And then this one. Here's one for you from this region. Is our Minnesota sports cursed? I don't know if that's a conspiracy theory. But I'm going to throw that one in for you, okay? But I've got something tonight, so that's my question of the day. Which sports conspiracy theory could actually be true? Chiefs get help? The NBA draft lottery actually was rigged? You just don't know how the Mavericks got the pick? Maybe it's the Minnesota sports actually is cursed. Is that a fact, or is that a conspiracy theory? Or Major League Baseball actually is this a conspiracy to drive up runs and offense? That's what I want to know. By the way, speaking of conspiracies, let's do this. See, I got special music tonight because I also think there are some South Dakota sports conspiracies. I went through my list here. South Dakota sports conspiracies. Are there any that come to your mind? Let me throw out some that come to my mind. This is South Dakota sports conspiracies that could be true. South Dakota media, the media like me, favors and likes SDSU over USD. Is it a fact? Is it a conspiracy theory that we have SDSU on our mind? I have secret Jackrabbit gear in my closet? I've been told South Dakota media favors SDSU, likes the Jacks better than the Yotes. Do you believe that? That's number one on my list. South Dakota sports conspiracy. Here's another one. Sioux Falls actually hates the rest of the state. I can't say that. I can't say if that's a conspiracy theory that's true or not. Sioux Falls is a great place, I think they think they're greater than much of the state. Sioux Falls thinks they're greater than much of the state. Do they actually have hatred for small towns hosting tournaments? I hope not. But it's a conspiracy that's been thrown around that Sioux Falls secretly wants every tournament. And if they have to play them underground in secret arenas, they'll do it. Here's another one. You go to state basketball tournaments. I see this a lot. You'll see people flipping through their program, wondering where the refs are from. And you'll see this ref is from East River. And he's favoring the East River teams. Let's see. He was a graduate from Garrettson. He wants this East River team to win. Do you believe East River refs favor East River teams at state basketball tournaments? Take a look at your program. Find out where they're from. Careful, because it doesn't always work out that way. By the way, here's a high school sports one for you again. Some people say the South Dakota High School Activities Association is controlled by Class B schools, by ESD schools. The ESD broke off and formed their own football class. How did they get that done? That was a long time ago now, but maybe the conspiracy started early. South Dakota sports conspiracy theories. Are those the top of the list? I think I'm going to take those. South Dakota media favors South Dakota State. That's at the top of my list. Do we have Coyote banners in the studio? We do. It's right behind me. We have South Dakota State as well. Which one's the real fan pennant? You're never going to know. By the way, if you have any South Dakota sports conspiracies for me, I'd like to know. 605-720-1067. Listener text. The press definitely favors South Dakota State. I knew it. The press favors South Dakota State. By the way, see the conspiracy theories. I have some that are real. There's my South Dakota version. Here's some that are real. Go to the NFL 2 years ago. The head coach of the Denver Broncos, Sean Payton, I watched every game. He did sabotage Russell Wilson in his last year in Denver. Just watch the play calls. Watch the games. Russell Wilson had 26 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. And Sean Payton, he wasn't a fan. A conspiracy theory. Did Sean Payton sabotage Russell Wilson? More truth to that than you might want to recognize. Do we all know this one? Remember from a couple of years ago, the terrible injury to Damar Hamlin. Is Damar Hamlin? He came back to play for the Bills. Is that really Damar Hamlin? Give me a break. That was a funny one. People were actually saying, is that Damar Hamlin? Where is he? I haven't seen him. He just played for the Bills. He's not the clone, I hate to tell you. And last but not least, is this a true sports conspiracy theory? Players actually tank to get better draft picks in the pros. Do you believe that? You see NFL teams? Do they actually tank towards the end of the year so they can get Arch Manning? Let's keep an eye on it. Who's going to tank on purpose? The players. Now, I'm not telling you the front office. Yeah, they probably, it'd be nice to lose a little bit so we can get Arch Manning if we need a QB. But if you think the players tank, I got a Damar Hamlin clone I'm going to sell you. Anyway, the players don't tank. They're pro players. They're playing for paychecks. They're playing for their future and their career. Players that are competitive out there, they're not going to tank to get Arch Manning or to get whoever. Nobody tanked to get Shedeur Sanders. Oh, wonder why. Players don't tank. It's a conspiracy theory. Don't believe it. Listener text coming in. The Chiefs are living rent-free in Nate Brown's head. Hey, I'm the one that said that's not a conspiracy theory. The refs don't favor the Chiefs. The NFL doesn't rig it for the Chiefs. This coming from a Broncos fan. I don't like the Chiefs, but they don't get favored by the refs. Did I mention any true conspiracy theories tonight? The only one that I believe? Sean Payton did sabotage Russell Wilson. Back with Ben Leber next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Save big money on your entire roofing project at Menards. Your roof is the first line of defense against the elements and represents up to 40% of your home's exterior. Owens Corning Architectural Shingles offer ultimate protection and impressive curb appeal. Choose from over 40 options and save big money on all Owens Corning shingles now at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
Shop the region's largest selection of spirits, wines, and beers at the best prices today at both Mr. Liquor locations in Rapid City. Save $5 off Menage a Trois Red Blend, now just $6.99. Take $6 off all flavors of Choppin' Vodka, now $23.99. Or pick up High Noon ready-to-drink cocktails, 4 packs, only $9.99. Price is good at the new Mr. Liquor 2 next to Walmart off Catron or on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
Sports Grass by Forever Lawn delivers a trifecta that can't be beat. Higher quality product, expertly handled custom installation, and long-term partnership. Indoors or out, small or large. Your sports grass field will continue to look and feel great after years of play. Call 605-831-9026 or Google Forever Lawn in South Dakota. With dealerships on both sides of the state, we're ready to help you put the best into your sports fields. Forever Lawn in South Dakota.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A high wind watch begins at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning and continues until 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Cloudy skies expected this afternoon with a chance of thunderstorms. High temperatures reach up to 62. Winds out of the north 10 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected tonight, chance for showers. Lows dip down to about 48. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 57 degrees.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
Looking for a great place for a pregame meal that really satisfies? Or maybe you want a place to take your all-star after the game. Or you're looking for a place to enjoy a delicious meal while watching your favorite team on the big screen TV. Valley Sports Bar and Grill has all the bases covered for all those things and more. Top-notch, friendly, and attentive service. Wall-to-wall big screen TVs with all the big games. And the absolute best wings in Rapid City. Valley Sports Bar. Make it your place. 1865 Valley Drive, Rapid City.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
Hey, welcome back in. Just getting going on a Wednesday on the Nate Brown Show at South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Had a little fun starting the show tonight. Are there any sports conspiracies that are actually true? Well, it depends who you ask. Are there sports conspiracies that are actually true? I threw out the question of the day. Which one is closer to true than not in sports? The number one vote getter, the NBA draft lottery is rigged. It's rigged. That's what you say today on Twitter. I'm not buying it. Not buying it. Ben Leber's joining us tonight. Former Vikings linebacker. He's on KFAN, covers the Vikes. He's on Twitter at Nacho Leber. And he's here on the Nate Brown Show. Welcome back on, Ben. How are you?
Nate, I'm doing great. Can I throw in one other sports conspiracy that I think is actually true?
I want that. I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, okay. Well, that iconic visual that we all have of Paul Pierce being carried off the court, I really think that he pooped his pants. Okay. That's one I didn't think of. All right, book that one. By the way, yeah, book it, man. Okay. I'm telling you, he still denies it, but I'm telling you that's true. You just don't come back from something like that. And there are pictures that look like he doo-dooed himself. Youch. By the way, do you think there are any of these recent sports conspiracies that could be true? I've got people voting the NBA lottery, how the Mavericks got it, that was rigged. The Chiefs, we hear this every year, they get favored. The NFL wants them to win. We don't believe this, do we?
I don't believe that the draft lottery is rigged. Look, I mean, we have one of the guys on the Power Trip Morning Show here in Minneapolis that is convinced that it's rigged. But the thing is, like, you could kind of make an argument for any team that doesn't have the highest chances. Like, if you take out the top 2 or 3 teams that have the highest chances for that little ping pong ball, you can make an argument for every one of those teams that are below them, like why it would be rigged. They could be a big market team. They could have lost, a superstar. They could this, that, and the other. It's like, then you're just trying to make the narrative fit. But the odds are the odds. I mean, just because one team may have like a 20% chance of getting the ping pong ball doesn't mean that they're going to get it. They still have an 80% chance they're not going to get it. So I don't think that it's rigged at all. And as far as the Chiefs go, I definitely think that they get calls, especially on Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's about as big of a flopper as LeBron James. So I think that the NFL does favor him. I don't think that they favor the Chiefs per se, but any sort of soft ticky-tack call on Mahomes, they always give it to the Chiefs.
I do get that. I get you on that. I said, I think that's a little different. getting calls as opposed to the NFL, actually, it's we want the Chiefs to win. I'm not buying that. By the way, let's talk about what about this? I don't think it's a conspiracy, but for the first time in history, this is why I wanted to talk to you as a former player, Ben, is the Vikings are going to be international back-to-back. No teams have done it back-to-back. They're going to be in Dublin against the Steelers, in London against the Browns. So you tell me as a former player, I don't like it, but I haven't played. I said I think it's a long time. You're going to talk 17 days or whatever it's going to be to get acclimated to the whole thing. I don't like that long of a stretch overseas. I mean, it's different from country to country. Oh, it's not that far. You tell me as a player, will that be difficult?
I got to be honest. I think from a player standpoint, it will not be difficult. You're talking 10 days. Probably away from your home and the comforts of your home and your family. A lot of these, because everybody's going to understand what it is now. We have so many months to prepare. I'm guessing a lot of these guys will probably fly at least their spouses over, so you'll have at least that comfort of having your spouse there. They will get some free time and some downtime. I will say the Vikings have done a really, really good job, at least in my experience traveling with them, of really understanding the science behind jet lag and the science behind sleep. And, within a day, when I've talked to players, the way that they do it, within a day, you're already adjusted with your time clock and you don't feel any sort of jet lag. So they do it right. And, yes, it's going to be about an hour puddle jump from Ireland over to London. But at that point in time, you're already there. You're well adjusted. The support staff will be a little stressed out. But, these players are so well taken care of that there's not a lot of stress outside of just, all right, get me to the hotel, show me where we practice and where our makeshift locker room is going to be for the week, and where our rooms are, and that's it. It's pretty simplified for them. It'll be difficult for all the support staff, but as far as the players go, I don't think they're going to have a hard time with it at all.
Do you think from a football standpoint, it's easier to play quote-unquote neutral site Steelers-Browns rather than going to Pittsburgh and to Cleveland?
Oh, for sure. You look at the advantageous nature of having those neutral sites. We all know that Pittsburgh has a great fan base. They're going to show up. They're going to be loud. They're going to have the terrible towels. I bet you with our presence in the UK, because we have a very strong presence in the UK, I bet you that game is going to be a little bit more 50-50. Yes, will it be loud at times? Sure, but it won't be the crowd that we would have at Heinz Field. As far as the Browns go, I mean, they've got a good crowd as well. I'm sure that their audience and their crowd is a little down on them right now, but a lot of things to be excited for, and we are obviously a big draw for a lot of teams. But to get them in a very Vikings-heavy environment at Tottenham, that's all the favors point to us. I mean, I would be a little upset that the Browns, if I was a Browns fan, having to play the Vikings at Tottenham, because we sort of own that area marketing rights-wise. And when you're there, we have a lot of Vikings fans from all over Europe that flock in to London, and they will pack that place. I imagine it'll be 70% Vikings fans versus Browns fans.
Ben Leber on tonight, former Vikings linebacker. He's on KFAN out of the Twin Cities. He joins us on the Nate Brown Show talking Vikings schedule. So the full schedule's coming out here shortly. I know everything gets leaked out in this game and that game. Like when you look at some of these, Lions, Christmas Day, that's a biggie. What's the premier game when you look at the schedule?
It's hard to talk about a premier game when we have so many primetime games. I mean, I've seen the leaked full schedule. I haven't memorized it yet, but I think we have 6 or 7 primetime games. Those are all huge. I think there's a lot to like about the schedule, the way it lays out. The fact that we get to start the season on Monday Night Football at Chicago, from a weather perspective, that's going to be great. A lot of excitement, 2 young, dynamic quarterbacks that are going to go out there and prove themselves. And then you talk about those London international games with Ireland, and then we get the bye week. And I think, a lot of players, typically veterans, don't want to have the early bye week. They want it more in the meat of the schedule, towards the back half of the schedule. But I'm telling you, with a young quarterback, his first year starting in this league, with KOC trying to figure out, the best options for their offense and how to refine it, I think an early bye week really benefits the offense. They can see a few games and see how JJ processes everything, make some tweaks here and there. I think the self-scouting for a revamped offense early on is huge. I will say weeks about 7 through 10, I don't have them memorized, but from what I looked at, it is a true meat grinder. I mean, we've got the Ravens in there. We've got the Chargers on a Thursday night. We have the Lions in there. A lot of physical football games being played. If we can make it through there and prove to everybody that we can go toe-to-toe with everybody, I think that's like one of those character builders that gets you playoff-ready type of weeks. And then we close the season with 2 more primetime games in December, and then the last 2 at home. So I don't know, man. I really kind of like the way this schedule kind of shakes out for the Vikes.
I want to ask you what you're hearing about J.J. McCarthy. Things are going to start getting serious now as we get set for summer and getting ready to go. What are you hearing around the team about just J.J. McCarthy? Huge expectations on him now because this team people are putting in, this is a Super Bowl window here.
Yeah, I would say mature beyond years. Everybody that I've heard from that have been around him early in the OTAs, and even going back to the stories that are being shared publicly about how he handled his injury and his desire to learn how our defense looks. Harrison Phillips, just a week after his injury, and saying, "Hey, I want to sit down with a vet defensive lineman and go through what do you look at as far as an offense? What are you guys doing on defense that can help me out as a quarterback?" And he's just kind of doing all the right things, and there's no fakery to it. He's like the genuine article. Everybody raves about his athleticism, his arm strength, his ability to process and practice. to be a leader, to take over the huddle and look at guys in the eye and kind of own the huddle as if he's a 10-year vet. It's pretty exciting.
Ben Leber's on before I let him run. He's the former Vikings linebacker, of course, and covers the Vikings on KFAN. So I look at it and go, Vikings have this window. J.J. McCarthy's the man. Do you think they were always going to go? This was the plan to have J.J. That's what people are saying now is, I know Sam Darnold had a big year and they brought him in, but this is what they wanted to do.
Yeah, I think this is what they wanted to do all along. And I think Sam understood that. I think the message was pretty clear to Sam, and if it wasn't clearly verbalized to his face, I think he understood the situation when he signed with the Vikes, that he was going to be a bridge quarterback, and he was going to have to truly compete for the spot when JJ was healthy, and it was sort of may the best man win. And the fact that he had an unbelievable year, a career year, I think he was probably appreciative of the tutelage of KOC and what it did for him to get his new contract. I think it was a mutual thank you on both sides. But I think it was, at the end of the day, it's what the Vikes wanted to do. They wanted to go with a younger quarterback. They wanted to go with a more dynamic quarterback. And no matter what happened with Sam, I think it was always the plan to have JJ take over.
Okay, one hoops question. Are the Wolves winning tonight? Can they go to the finals?
Yes, they're going to win tonight, and I just hope to goodness that they get off to a fast start, because it's maddening to me that when we see the level of talent that we have compared to Golden State, why we just don't start fast, run these guys out of the gym in the first half, and leave no doubt like they did in Game 2.
Yes.
So I'm hoping for that tonight. Can we get to the finals? Absolutely. I mean, but our guys have to show up. I don't think that we should always rely on the 3-ball all the time. Just take what we can get, man. I don't know. Just make sure that every possession counts. Sometimes I think that we're overpassing just to try to get a shot at 3. It's we have some very athletic, dynamic guys that can play in the paint, can drive the lane. Just do that and keep every defense sort of gassed and guessing. Then we'll have a chance to get to the finals for sure.
What would the Twin Cities be like with the Timberwolves in the finals? What's that going to be like if they make it?
Well, especially with Cleveland and Boston on the ropes. I mean, I think anybody from the West has got to be salivating a little bit looking at the East, saying we got a real big shot and a big chance to win this thing. And I think the West, whoever comes out of the West, is going to be heavily favored. So I don't want to obviously look too far ahead, but it sounds like it's going to be Oklahoma City. If that's the case, I mean, yeah, they're super talented. They're going to be a really tough out. But if we can get past them, I don't see who can stand in our way in the East.
Big-time story. Timberwolves trying to get it done. Ben Leber on tonight, former Vikings linebacker. Schedule is coming out officially here in a little bit for the Vikings, where they're going to be, and we've seen a ton of the games. Ben, good to have you, man. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, you too, Nate.
Appreciate it. Ben Leber, former Vikings linebacker. Listen to him on KFAN, covers the Vikes, joins us live from the Twin Cities. Great to have him talking Vikings football. Interesting conspiracy theory he had there about Paul Pierce and a little thing that happened. I have a interesting story about that in my past. Not with myself. Not with myself. I was at a golf tournament, and golfing with somebody that had a little problem, and we covered it up. It was a conspiracy theory. It never happened, but you just heard that it did. Whoops. Craig Mattick's in next. SDPB Sports, live from Sioux Falls, the biggest South Dakota sports conspiracy. I'm going to ask Craig. He has a long history. Next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale is on now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window. Plus enjoy no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Get an extra 5% off your entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit rbarapidcity.com to book your free estimate.
Rapid City's premier sports bar with everything you want for the best game watching experience. Bring your crew and take in the action while enjoying our Firehouse craft beers, specialty cocktails, and a great menu of Firehouse burgers, nachos, and more. We have every game, every night on our 35 big screens, and there's not a bad seat in the house. Come and watch your favorite team at the number one place for sports, the Skybox, right above the Firehouse, Main Street, downtown Rapid City.
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear. Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we are committed to improving the lives of our members and bettering our communities. As your community credit union, we're here to get to know you and your unique needs. From extended service hours to the newest technology, we have you covered. Stop by any location to get started or text or call 605-718-1818. BHFCU is member-owned, not-for-profit, and federally insured by the NCUA.
Great news. I just got the State Farm personal price plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Welcome back in South Dakota Sports Talk Show, live, Fox Sports Radio. Thanks for being here. The Nate Brown Show is on. Appreciate you being a part of the program. Question of the day. Which sports conspiracy theory is most likely to be true? Are there any? The winning vote getter nationally, I did some national sports conspiracy theories. Do the Chiefs get help from the NFL to win all the time? Does the NFL want the Chiefs to win? They help them win. The NBA lottery, is it rigged? Like Monday night, the Mavericks got the number one pick. The NBA wanted the Mavericks to get the number one pick. That's the number one vote getters. The NBA lottery's rigged. I got a listener text here. What did he say? He said the NBA draft can be fixed. The NBA's number one business is entertainment. It's fixed? The NBA draft's fixed? I'm not buying it. Let's go to Craig Mattick, SDPB Sports. Live from Sioux Falls. Craig, how are you tonight?
Hey, I'm doing great, Nate. Always great to hear you and be able to entertain the folks, not only in Rapid City, but Sioux Falls.
I have some entertainment tonight, Craig. We are doing some entertaining tonight because I threw out this. People have been saying the NBA draft lottery, where the Mavericks somehow ended up with the number one pick for Cooper Flagg, is rigged. They said it was rigged. Luka went to the Lakers. They said they did that to get the ratings up in L.A., get them over there with LeBron, and they told the Mavericks, you're going to get the number one pick, so it's all rigged. I'm not buying it, but I turned it into this. What are South Dakota sports conspiracies that could be true? That could be true. And I have a list. I want to ask you about this. Here's one that comes to mind. does the South Dakota media favor and love SDSU over USD? Is there truth to that?
As a guy that was in the radio business for a really long time, typically media guys and media personnel like when schools are winning.
Yeah.
And they like it where they can follow a team that is winning. Now, I think there's less media folks down in the Vermilion area, as there's more certainly up here with Brookings. That's a great question.
No, it's not a question. It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy.
I'm going to say no on that. Now, if the Jacks weren't winning, they wouldn't be following as close as what they're doing now.
Okay, here's a fun one for you. You're a great Sioux Falls resident. You've lived there for a long time. It's a conspiracy. Does Sioux Falls really not like the rest of the state? I mean, you tell me, Craig. You tell me.
No, it's the other way around.
Oh.
It's the other way around. It's everybody else in the state. They don't like Sioux Falls, especially up in Pierre. That's a conspiracy there.
Oh.
Every lawmaker in Pierre is voting everything against Sioux Falls because they don't like the metro.
Here's one.
That's a conspiracy.
Okay, good turnaround. That's a good turnaround response by Craig Mattick. Here's one for you. You know what happens at state tournaments? People look and they watch the games, and then they see who's reffing. And I've had this happen over my career. And they look in the program, where's this ref from? And then they find out, and they say the East River refs favor the East River teams. Is that correct?
I know a lot of the referees, and they actually 10 minutes before they go out, they are talking. They hold hands, and before they go out, they look at each other and say, "Okay, who exactly do we want to win tonight?" That actually,
and it's the East River schools, isn't it?
Does not. Yeah. It does not happen. No.
Last one that's on my list, Craig Mattick, a South Dakota sports conspiracy theory. Is there any truth to this? That the ESD actually controls some of the activity of the Activities Association. The ESD.
Well, they do have a lot of power. They do have a lot of things that they like. That they do a lot of things together because they're the ESD. But as far as forcing something over another because they're ESD, no, I don't believe that. I do believe, though, now that you talk about statewide conspiracy, I'm going to have to go. The one that comes to my mind would be the conspiracy that the field goal in 1987 by Rapid City Stevens was not good against Sioux Falls, Washington in the state championship. A lot of people believe that field goal was not good.
Oh, really? Really?
Mm-hmm.
You're bringing up old wounds here?
I'm just conspiracy.
We need instant replay review, and we didn't have it back then, okay, Craig? So
Mick Weissip is not going to like that I brought that up.
No.
My good friend Mick, who coached there at Rapid City Stevens.
Yeah, and he's been on your podcast in place, so that's very interesting you bring that up. By the way, Craig Mattick joining us, having some fun with this. I do believe people want to believe, like, this is rigged or that's rigged. I put on my list for a sports conspiracy theory, Minnesota sports. Are they cursed? Are they truly cursed?
Except for the Twins 2 World Series and the Minnesota Lynx with, 4 WNBA titles? Yes, there is a jinx.
There is.
In Minnesota, especially with the Vikings, especially with NFC championship games.
The Vikings have been part of that curse. The Wolves are right there. They've only got a few more games, and they could be NBA champions. The Wolves, can they do it?
Yeah, I think they've got a good chance to get to the finals. Not saying they're going to win it all, because a lot can happen. But right now they're playing their best basketball, no doubt. And folks are realizing that there is an NBA team in Minnesota because they were the absolute worst for over 25 years.
Okay, one on the Vikings schedule comes out tonight. So we find out they're going to be in Dublin and in London back-to-back weeks. Is this the year that Craig Mattick takes a trip to watch the Vikings overseas?
I was thinking about it. I got my personal text message from the Vikings to let me know that they will be in Europe 2 weeks in a row, and here is where I can go to put my deposit down to go. Now, the deposit for Dublin is only like $250 per person to secure a deposit, but it's $500 in London. So I did not tell my wife, but I just politely said, "Sorry, I'll watch it from my house."
Okay, you thought about it. You thought about it.
I did.
Do you care if the Vikings play back-to-back and stay overseas 2 weeks in a row?
No, not really, because, I mean, let's face it, during the season, there's a lot of times where a team will have 2 road games, and they'll play on a Sunday and Thursday night, so they'll be on the road pretty much for that whole 2 weeks. So it's kind of not that bad. So I don't think it'll be a big deal for players and stuff like that. I think it's good for the NFL. They're promoting it. I don't like it though when they take a home game away from the Vikings and make it a home game in Europe, because that screws me over as a season ticket holder.
Yeah, they aren't doing that this year. They are not doing that this year. Both of those games for the Vikings are road games over in Dublin and London. Craig Mattick is on tonight. One high school sports question, and this is an interesting one because I see some openings around South Dakota. It's this time of year. School year's winding down. There's openings for coaches. There's openings for ADs. I had this question of the day this week. What's the most challenging thing for a high school AD today? And my options were finding the right coaches so you have some stability, some long-term coaches, or managing the parents. Are those 2 options? Which one would you go?
Boy, I certainly, and I'm believing in my heart that for the most part that our moms and dads are staying out of the way. For the most part, most parents are staying out of the way and letting the coaches, letting the ADs do their job. So I would go, and maybe I'm being facetious on that, but I would hope that the tough job of any athletic director, the time that they put in is a ton. They're at that school almost every night throughout the whole season. They're managing their coaches. They're managing the schedule. They're managing the budgets, all that kind of stuff. It is a tough job, and I salute every AD out there, and if every mom and dad would just stay out of the way, probably would make their job a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's a tough job. I think it is. I said it's finding the right coaches because it's hard to find these coaches now, Craig. I mean, you've seen it over the years. The coaches aren't staying in it very long, and it's hard to get stability in a program. There's all the politics and all the pressure and expectations. I think it's tough to find the right coaches, and the ADs have even more on their plate than that. Craig Mattick on tonight, talking Vikings and more, and SDPB Sports, your podcast in play. Do we have some new ones coming?
Well, coming up, we've got one of the all-time great female athletes, and that will be released here real soon before the state track meet. An unbelievable season as an 8th grader, winning a state championship and other championships. As an 8th grader, you'll hear that story. And then also the fastest man in South Dakota for about a decade. Just amazing records. And now watching maybe his son break his records at the state track meet. That story, too, coming up on In Play with Craig Mattick here in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, and then I'll be looking forward to the episode when you're talking about the conspiracy about Stevens missing the field goal.
Well, I'm just bringing that up because it's been brought up to me several times over the years as well. I still believe Stevens won the game fair and square.
1987. Book it.
But it was close.
Oh, it was close. All right. Craig Mattick, good to have you, man. Appreciate it.
Take care.
See ya. Craig Mattick in tonight. SDPB Sports, longtime Sioux Falls broadcaster. East River meets West River. Boy, he was interesting on those South Dakota sports conspiracy theories. He was, maybe there's more truth to some of these than I thought. I threw them out for South Dakota sports conspiracy theories. Is there any truth at all? And he paused on every one. Craig's like, maybe the media does favor and like SDSU more. Okay, careful on this stuff. Hey, we got a listener text on this. South Dakota sports conspiracy theory. This one is for the Sioux Falls cashless ticketing system. Listener text, what information are the Sioux Falls high schools getting from me if I paid for a ticket with my credit card? Ooh. Yes. They're finding out everything you're doing, including going to the soccer matches in Sioux Falls. But they want to find out what else you're doing. Keep an eye on it. All right, good stuff. Let's come back with this. I just saw a new sports documentary coming out. This was announced yesterday. I saw a sports documentary coming out from ESPN, and I thought, I love these sports documentaries. And then I saw what it was about. My goodness.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Ace is the place.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale is on now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window. Plus enjoy no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Get an extra 5% off your entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit rbarapidcity.com to book your free estimate.
Has ranked Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club the #1 public course in South Dakota. Off exit 17 in Spearfish, Elkhorn Ridge offers a golfing experience second to none. Play their 18-hole championship layout with your buddies. Stop into Miller Creek Pub for some drinks, or bring the family out for lunch and try out the new putting green right below Miller Creek Pub. Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club has it all. Book your next tee time at elkhornridgeresort.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A high wind watch begins at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning and remains in effect until 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Chance of rain showers tonight, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Lows dip down to about 48. Northwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected tomorrow. Chance of rain showers. Highs level off around 60. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 56 degrees.
Headed to the 85th Sturgis Rally? Make the ride even better with a stay at Cadillac Jackson Deadwood. Relax in style with 3 top-notch hotels. Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, Doubletree, and True by Hilton. Plus, enjoy 4 eateries and Deadwood's largest casino floor. Mention this ad and receive an exclusive Gambler's Getaway that includes a $20 food and beverage credit, $30 in Cadillac cash, and 2 free drink tickets. Book your rally stay today at Cadillac Jacks. Call 605-578-1500.
If you're in the market for a vehicle right now, you probably have noticed it's sometimes hard to find the right one. That's where Summit Automotive Group steps in. Stacy and Matt and their staff working hard to get a great selection of pre-owned vehicles at affordable prices. At Summit Automotive, they have a different outlook on selling you a vehicle. You'll experience stress-free shopping, friendly, honest service with no high-pressure sales gimmicks. Before you buy, drop by East Highway 44, summitautogrp.com.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is live. Fox Sports Radio. Glad you're here tonight. Wednesday edition of the program. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Across the state, the local sports newsmakers to the big national guests. Coming up, Jerry Brewer, national sports writer, Washington Post. Jerry's a great guest. Coming up, great sports writer for a long time. Jerry Brewer in from the Washington Post on tap, talking NBA. We'll get to the Wolves tonight, and the NFL schedule release is tonight. Speaking of the NFL, new documentary coming out. So I like sports documentaries, right? I mean, I'm a sports guy, sports fan. I like sports documentaries. The Last Dance is the king, right? The Last Dance during the COVID mess was something we watched and was really good. I'm a Bulls guy. I'm a Jordan guy. So The Last Dance was an all-timer. I've been told there's a good one out on the Team USA and following them through the Olympics, Court of Gold. Court of Gold. I'm going to be watching that one as Team USA won the gold here at the Olympics this past one. And now there's a new sports documentary coming out. Can I force myself to watch this? I like sports documentaries. Can I do this? Is this a little over the top? The sports documentary coming out from ESPN, it was just released yesterday, the trailer. It's called The Kingdom. Who do you think they're following last year? Your Kansas City Chiefs and the quest for a NFL first three-peat. But here's the problem. They didn't win the three-peat. I know what happened. They didn't win the three-peat. So the Chiefs have entered the category of now having a sports documentary. This isn't Hard Knocks stuff. This is The Kingdom. Like, it's elevated the Chiefs above everybody else, and they follow the Chiefs all throughout the season, behind the scenes and stuff like this. Oh, no, it's dramatic, too. You had Patrick Mahomes on there. Turn the camera off. It's dramatic. Am I going to find my courage to watch the new sports documentary coming out? ESPN Films, The Kingdom. The documentary following the Chiefs this past year. Something tells me I should just take a look. I should take a look. The Chiefs have, I have to hand it to them, they've been interesting, really interesting. So I wouldn't mind going behind the scenes. I hope it's not like, the Last Dance thing. That was for Bulls fans, and I guess for NBA fans, but if you didn't like the Bulls and Jordan and the whole thing, you probably thought The Last Dance was a little fluffy. You thought, oh, my gosh, it made these guys out to be the best of all. But again, the Bulls, this is a 6-time champion. The Last Dance, a 6-time champion. The Chiefs were back-to-back going for the three-peat. I get it. Maybe a little rich to do the documentary on the Chiefs, but it's coming out this fall is what it looked like. It's called The Kingdom, following the Kansas City Chiefs and their quest for a three-peat. That did not happen. As we all know. Let's see, what's the update on the question of the day tonight? What is the biggest sports conspiracy theory that could actually be true? What's the biggest sports conspiracy theory that could actually be true? Let's go to the poll. There's a lot of people voting on this one tonight. Let's see. People are still saying that the NBA lottery is rigged. That's what people are voting on. Which sports conspiracy theory has the best chance of actually being true? 37% of you on Twitter saying the NBA lottery is rigged. 24% Minnesota sports are cursed. Coming in second. Don't do that to the Wolves. They've got it made in the shade right now. They're going to win tonight. Let's not say Minnesota sports is cursed. It's conspiracy theory. 21% actually voting that the NFL actually does help the Chiefs win. Speaking of the Kingdom, are we going to get into that on that documentary? Some of the iffy calls. 21% of you say the NFL actually helps the Chiefs win. But the number one vote getter, the actual conspiracy theory that you think is true, the NBA lottery is rigged, 37%. I got an NBA one here, though. Text us, which sports conspiracy theory do you think actually is true? 605-720-1067. That's the text line. Here's one that came in. Bronny getting drafted was rigged. Yeah, you got a point on that. I think you got a point. That's a conspiracy theory of like, well, the Lakers had to do it, right? Why did they do it? It wasn't for Bronny James being the real deal. It was for you had to do it for LeBron. Does that qualify as a conspiracy theory? Not bad. Not bad. Let's see here. Listener text, conspiracy theory, Caitlin Clark never pushes off. Oh, hey. Take it easy. Take it easy. That's just basketball. Moving without the basketball. Okay? Into the second hour. I got 2 things. 5 questions from Chris. It's a Wednesday, so our loyal listener Chris sent me 5 questions. I've got 5 answers. We'll run through that and hit it hard. And then I just saw this. College football playoff is at 12 teams. It's good, right? It looks like there's going to be a pretty big change, not to the number yet, but how they're going to determine who gets the seeds. So right now you had conference champions get the home games. Boise State got one, right? So you had this situation, buys, I should say. The conference champs got the buys. They're going to tweak that. College football playoff discussion came out today. We'll get to that on the way.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Consumers everywhere are loving the benefits of buying locally produced food. Not only is it fresher and more nutritious, it's also good for the local economy. With state-of-the-art facilities throughout the Midwest, the Village Hearth buns you already love are baked and delivered fresh daily to your local grocer. So whether you like unsliced old-fashioned hamburger and hot dog buns or prefer classic white or wheat, just look for the familiar red Village Hearth logo on the package and you've made the right choice. Village Hearth buns, locally baked and delivered fresh daily.
Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer from Denny Menholt Toyota. Use your phone. It's fast and easy. Pull up our website, click on Value Trade-In, scan your VIN, and tell us about your car. You are on your way to a no-hassle, no-commitment cash offer on your vehicle in under 5 minutes. Bring your vehicle and your Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer to Denny Menholt Toyota and get cash or trade-in credit today. See you soon at Denny Menholt Toyota, Rapid City.
Ever dreamed of building something amazing? Builders First Source in Rapid City, Spearfish, and Hot Springs is your go-to building materials partner. Whether you're building new or giving new life to an old space, we provide step-by-step guidance from drafting and cabinetry design to lifelike visualization and top-quality materials. It's your vision, and we're here to make it real. Visit BLDR.com. Builders First Source, your Black Hills partner in building every step of the way.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
Eating in Deadwood has so many options thanks to Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort. Wake up with the trusted taste of Starbucks or sit down to a full breakfast at Best Brews. Looking for lunch? Build a wonderfully fresh sandwich from Jersey Mike's. Grab some quick and cheesy goodness from Pizza Hut or pull up a chair in Patty O'Neill's Irish Pub. Need something a little more intimate for dinner? Well, Snitches is all the buzz with an evolving menu of chef-designed culinary creations. There's something for everyone to eat at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort, located on historic Main Street in Deadwood.
All right, we're talking with Britt Wicked at Elevate Performance Physical Therapy for an Elevate Performance Health Minute. Right now, it's baseball season, and one thing I know with baseball, I hear about this overuse shoulder injury.
It's something that we see a lot clinically. Repetitive motions place ourselves at an increased risk for sustaining an injury, especially if it's a movement that hasn't necessarily been done a lot previously.
And one thing, some people say, well, you just have to rest, but not all the time.
Yeah, so it's good to take a break in a sense. intense, but that doesn't necessarily mean do nothing at all. If you're experiencing symptoms like that and having soreness with throwing in particular, that's a good time to be seen by a physical therapist to try to assess the root cause of your symptoms. You could have weakness in the rotator cuff. We could have some shoulder instability. There's a lot going on with throwing, so it's important to have that thoroughly assessed to get you back on the road to recovery.
Get started at elevateperformancesd.com.
Oh, man, it's cool. You never know who's...
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, we're here and ready. Second hour ready to go tonight. Thanks for being here. Wednesday edition of the program. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. Stream us all the time on Twitter, at Nate Brown Show. You can watch the show live. Welcome in studio, at Nate Brown Show. Also on YouTube, The Nate Brown Show. If you follow us on YouTube, you've got the live show and archive shows there. The Nate Brown Show. Subscribe on YouTube. Jerry Brewer's coming up the second hour. National sports writer, Washington Post. He's our next guest. Great guest, Jerry Brewer on tap. Let's get going to the second hour with the college football playoff scenario. They're going to tweak this. And the college football playoff power brokers are sounding like they're getting to consensus here of changing out the seeding. So if you follow college football, you have the 12-team playoff, and you had the conference champions getting byes. The Boise States, the Arizona States. Okay, so you had some of these, and I mentioned them because everybody got wound up. That the conference champions got byes, and now the college football playoff big boys are saying, yeah, I don't think we're going to do that anymore. So they're looking to do the straight seeding now, starting with this next year. So that means 1 through 12, and how they're ranked, that's how that's going to play out, and the top 4 seeds are going to get the byes. So it doesn't matter if the top 4 seeds, if there's 2 of them in the SEC, they're going to get the byes. That's how they want to play this out, but they had to get everybody on board. The ACC was pushing back on this, saying, I don't know about that. Big 12 pushing back on this, I don't know about that. But now it looks like today the ACC commissioner, Jim Phillips, said that may be the right thing for us to consider. So if the ACC commissioner, he's the one that's going to push back on this because his team gets an automatic bye, and they would not this way. So the conferences that don't produce the big dogs, they wanted to keep this. Arizona State, Big 12, Boise State, Mountain West. Okay, so the straight seeding proposal was out there today, 1 through 12. Just do the first 4. Those are the byes. No more conference champions. I was going to die on the hill on this because I don't mind rewarding conference champions because I like conference championship Saturday. I think it makes a difference if you make a run and win your conference. Let's have a reward for a conference champion, which was you got a bye in the playoff. So I was going to die on that hill. I was prepared, but then I retreated. I've retreated because of how it played out. You had Penn State, who got to play SMU and Boise State in the second round. It was a walkthrough. And you had Oregon, who had to play Ohio State in the second round. So the way they did it screwed it up. So you just can't have it. Ohio State won the national championship. They didn't even get a first-round bye. They had to play Tennessee. So you had Arizona State and Boise State sitting here with a first-round bye. You can't have it. So I was like, I want the conference championships to matter. I love conference championship Saturday. I think that means something. You're gonna water this down now, and so it's just going to be a regular season that's not as important, and that might be the case. But they're going to do this. It looks like the Big Ten and SEC wanted to shift to this. Now the ACC commented on it today. That could be the right thing for us to consider. So they're starting to move here, so I wouldn't be surprised. That would happen today. I think you're going to get 1 through 12, no conference championship first-round buys, the top 4. And if it's 3 teams from the SEC, sorry. I think that's how it's going to work out. And again, I thought it was okay until I saw how it seeded out. You had big-time programs that you shouldn't have had Oregon and Ohio State playing in the second round. You had Penn State and Boise State playing. Well, Ohio State and Oregon were better than Penn State. Penn State had a walkthrough. So you can't have it. Wednesday edition of the program, let's do this.
It's time for 5 questions from Chris on the Nate Brown Show.
5 questions from Chris. We do it every Wednesday. At least we try. Chris, you're ready, aren't you? Our loyal listener, Chris, sends me 5 questions. I've got the answers. Let's roll. Question number 1. Nate, the NBA changed the way the draft would be conducted in 2019. Now they do the 3 worst teams in the league have a 14% chance of getting the number 1 pick. Since that change, the NBA's weighted system has thus far never awarded the overall worst team the first pick. It hasn't happened yet. And then Dallas got the number 1 pick this time, a 1.8% chance of getting it. Is the NBA weighted system, the lottery, a good way to have for any other professional sport? So are you saying, should we think about this for the NFL? Like, you can't just be the worst team in the NFL to lock in the number 1 pick. You shouldn't be the worst team. Like, strive to be the worst team in the NFL so you can get the number 1 pick. I do think there's some validity to that, Chris. I don't like rewarding the worst team. This is competitive pro sports. I don't want teams to be, oh, yeah, we want to be the worst teams. I told you players don't tank. I really believe that. Players do not tank. I don't care if they're on the Titans or the Browns or whatever. But should the NFL consider a weighted system like the bottom 3 teams? Yeah, they get the higher percentage chance to get the number 1 pick, but they're not going to be locked in. I think that would be interesting. It would be interesting. Nobody's going to let that fly. But I would find that to be interesting if the NFL did it like the NBA. People would have a fit. We'd have a fit. Can you imagine somebody like, I don't know, top 10 team getting the first pick when they didn't have the worst record, but here the Bears get the number 1 pick again, something like that? People would have a fit. Question number 2. In the 25 years of the NBA draft, only 2 players that have been selected as number 1 have won their team the title. Only 2 players selected number 1 in the 25 years of the NBA draft have won their team the title. LeBron James, Kyrie Irving. Do you think it's harder to draft players for the NBA or draft good quarterbacks for the NFL? I'm going to say the NFL quarterbacks is still the hardest because it's harder to evaluate. I just think it is. All of the things that go into an NFL quarterback and what he needs to do, the processing, the arm talent, the ability, the intelligence, the leadership. I just think there's too many things in football. It's hard to know who the right guy is at quarterback. In basketball, you're kind of a dude or you're not a dude. Now, the only thing you don't know, what's this dude going to get when he's a millionaire? What are we going to get in a basketball player when he's a big-time millionaire? And a lot of these guys just end up a mess. They got to have that competitive drive. That goes for football, too, but there's more unknowns in football. If you're a guy in basketball, you're a guy. I can kind of tell that usually. Football's harder, Chris. Question number 3. You've been talking recently of what can be done about baseball owners and trying to have their teams win. Major League Baseball enjoys antitrust exemption. That means they pretty much have a monopoly in the U.S. Okay, should there be a movement by fans to get the government to revoke baseball's antitrust status? This could be one way to have baseball owners actually care and put a team together. No, I don't think they're going to. I don't think you can. Fans are going to try and get wound up. Rockies stink. What are they going to do? The Orioles were so bad for so long. Maybe they're turning the corner. New ownership. Seems like it. So, there's organizations that the Pirates, what can you do? They're not going to change anything from the government side. You know that. The owners are the owners. The fans are just who they are. What can you do? Not much. Not much. The baseball owners, there's going to be some of them that want to win and some of them that want to just have a piggy bank for their team. That's it. Question number 4. ESPN announced they're going to have this direct-to-consumer streaming service, $29.99 a month. Standalone service is going to provide all ESPN channels through this app. Do you think there will be a great demand for this new ESPN streaming service? Well, I went off on this yesterday, Chris. Are you trying to bring back my old man version? You trying to bring back my old... I don't know if there's going to be huge demand for the new ESPN direct-to-consumer thing. It's just another streaming app. Like I said, I've got 92 of them. And now I got to get another one? But I already have ESPN on all my on TV and everything. So I don't think it's going to be huge demand. And if you say, well, it's ESPN. Yeah, but they failed at a lot of stuff. The ESPN bet thing, that's a mess. You thought sports betting, they're going to win. ESPN bet, that's a mess. So I don't think this is going to work that well. I don't think people are going to be, I just want to get this for ESPN. Look at some of it. I think we have so many streaming services. We get ESPN Plus. It's a mess. And add another one to it. Question number 5. 5 questions from Chris. Nate, I asked you if you were the GM of the Bucks, would you trade Giannis? You said no. Now there's recently been reports Giannis would be open to a trade. So would you really say no if Dallas or Houston or somebody called to inquire about a trade for Giannis? I'm going to still hold there. I don't care if Giannis is interested or not. Franchise player, face of the city, face of the organization. I can't get rid of a generational superstar Giannis. I can't do it if I'm the GM. Maybe you can call me, it's a bad move. I'm not going to do it. Keeping Giannis, that's it. 5 questions from Chris in the books. Jerry Brewer, national sports writer from the Washington Post, joins me live next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale is on now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window. Plus enjoy no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Get an extra 5% off your entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit rbarapidcity.com to book your free estimate.
Fuel your summer with unstoppable savings at Spearfish GMC Cadillac. Save up to $6,250 on new GMC Sierra 1500, or choose finance rates as low as 0.9% for 36 months. Save up to $2,750 on select GMC Sierra HDs. Summer stock is arriving. Check out a great selection of the new Acadia, Yukon, Terrain, and Canyon.
Shop online anytime at spearfishmotors.com.
GMC, we are professional grade.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A high wind watch begins at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning and remains in effect until 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Cloudy skies tonight with a slight chance of rain showers. Lows dip down to about 48, northwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected again tomorrow, chance of rain showers. Daytime highs approaching 60. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 55 degrees.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Jensen at Physio. We want to be your trusted partner for physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab. As the official strength and conditioning partners for Stevens, Central, Douglas, and the Rapid City Rush, our team at Physio is building the best athletes in the Black Hills. If you have an athlete in the family, we offer long-term athlete development at affordable prices for middle and high school students. We also have the only board-certified sports PT in Rapid City. At our brand new facility, Physio is ready to help you perform at your best. One-on-one physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab, all at one place. Get started at bhphysio.com.
Being in business has its rewards as well as its challenges. It means being the first one in the door in the morning and turning off the lights when you leave at night. Your business is unique, and you need a bank that understands your needs. You deserve the best. You need a financial partner that is invested in your success. You need Pioneer Bank and Trust. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk.
Welcome back in. Your sports, your show. The Nate Brown Show is on this hour, driven by Summit Automotive Group. SummitAutoGRP.com. Take a look on your phone when it comes to pre-owned in South Dakota. Start at SummitAutoGRP.com. Car buying built around you. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio, also streaming at Nate Brown Show on Twitter right now. Follow us and watch us live on Twitter at Nate Brown Show. Jerry Brewer joining us. Appreciate his time. National sports writer. WashingtonPost.com. You can find his work there. Jerry, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing great, Nate. Hey, man, do you have a radio nickname?
Not really. I mean, people call me Nate Dog, but that's old school, Jerry. I mean, that's old school. Why do you wonder about that?
No, I was just wondering because you have like a Nate the Great. There's like Nate Downtown Brown or something.
That's good stuff.
It's all corny right now, but I'm like, your name, your first and last name rhyme with so many things. I think we got to figure out a nickname for you. I think that you should have them text in names.
Oh, boy, that might be dangerous, but thank you for that. I appreciate that. By the way, Nate Dog is my old school one. That brings back some good memories right there. I just had the Wyoming men's basketball coach on, and he called me Nate Dog, so I'll take it, Jerry. I'm going to take that. By the way, I want to get your thought. NBA draft lottery just happened. This is a story, and I just threw it out for fun to my audience. Which sports conspiracy theory has the best chance of being true? And my audience is voting for that. The NBA draft lottery is rigged as the number one vote getter. I'm not buying any of it, but do you believe fans think there's funny business going on with the Mavericks somehow getting the number one pick?
Oh, they definitely do. And at this point, all you can do is have fun with it. I mean, I actually think if you got busted fixing that, you could be, the NBA could face fraud allegations. It could be a federal crime. But you're always going to kind of believe that. I think like the easiest one of all of these conspiracy theories to believe is the pick the referee who always seems to be the equalizer referee, whether it be in the NBA or in the NFL playoffs, that sometimes the league does say, hey, we need to make this more compelling. Can you go ahead and come in here and like call the game? Like I can see those conspiracy theories possibly being real, but there'd be so many layers of deniability. I just don't think we'd ever be able to prove it.
By the way, our second vote getter is that the NFL helps the Chiefs win. That's the second vote getter.
Of course. I mean, okay. I'll never understand why we hate dynasties so much. I think dynasties make the sport better because if you've covered professional sports, and I've covered all the leagues for 20-plus years as a columnist, and one thing is very consistent in professional sports. If you give owners an even situation, they will not build their team to dominate. They will not. And so the only way you can get them off of their wallets and keep them from being complacent is to have a team that just dominates. And then everybody gets mad and everybody gets serious about trying to beat them. And that's the only way the boats rise in professional sports, because I'm telling you, if we had perfect parity, they would just leave all their teams to suck.
That's
and
interesting.
Just like the team that sucked the least would win all the time.
No, that's interesting. Jerry Brewer on tonight, WashingtonPost.com, national sports columnist. Speaking of the NBA draft lottery, I had a question. Lister said, is the weighted system like the lottery system, the way they're doing it, is this the right way to do it? Should other leagues consider it? Would you ever think the NFL draft should do a weighted system? Would people lose their mind if you had the worst team not get the number one pick in the NFL?
Out of tradition, I think they might, but I think you're only a tanking episode away from the NFL considering it. As a matter of fact, I don't believe in this. You get to December and everybody just tries to lose, or you win a game late in the year and everybody's upset at you because you won. It just kind of seems like that works against just the entire premise of sports. So I think that if there's ever any moment, and the NFL, opinions are so. There's so much intensity behind the opinions. We've seen how many times they've changed the overtime rules, right? All it needs is one egregious tanking situation, and I think the NFL would consider it. I think I'll put it this way, Nate. I think in our lifetime we will not see this exactly the way that it is right now in the NFL.
Okay. Very interesting. That's another one. I got a listener question on that. Jerry Brewer on tonight. Let's go to the NBA playoffs. So Steph's being out, that's a killer. I'm surprised the Timberwolves just haven't ran the Warriors off the floor. Have you been surprised that the Warriors they've stayed in it. I think they're on the verge of getting eliminated tonight. They've stayed in every game, it seems like. What do you think the Wolves have done there?
Yeah, any team that's got Jimmy Butler on it, or even if it's an old Jimmy Butler and, with an injury like he is now, they're hard to put down. And if Draymond comes to play and isn't about the nonsense, defensively, you still have enough to stay in games. And you're still talking about a Minnesota team that, they went to the conference finals last year, but they're a little bit different this year because they traded Karl Anthony Towns. And so they're still not quite mature enough to really just destroy you when they have you down. So I think they're taking care of business, and I think they really need to win tonight because you don't want to have a Game 6 in which Steph possibly could be back because just magical things happen with Steph Curry. And you don't want to be in a dogfight like that. But I'm all in all, I feel pretty good about what Minnesota has done. There was times about a month or so ago, it's man, they're really squandering an opportunity to make a couple deep runs. But it seems like they're gonna get to the conference finals, and I would give them, if not a 50-50 shot, a 48-52. Kind of a shot of making it to the NBA Finals, which would be crazy in Minnesota.
Yeah, it would. Wolves fans have been waiting. On the other West side, Jokic has 44 last night. I've been following every game of the series. Nuggets aren't providing much there outside of Jokic. Murray has been pretty good. He wasn't great yesterday. Can the Nuggets go back to Denver and force a 7 here? Do you think this is over?
Yeah, I think it's over.
You do?
I still worry about Oklahoma City's youth and trying to win. It's so hard to win a closeout game on the road, knowing that you've got the cushion of you could come back home for Game 7. You don't want to have to face a Game 7 against a guy like Jokic who could go for 50, 20, and 20, even against how good their defense is. So I think this is the end of the road for Denver just because so many of those guys seem like they're playing with one leg, one shoulder, one half of their brain, and Russell Westbrook. And at some point I just see they put up a great fight, But at some point I see a collapse, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Thunder blow them out in Game 6.
Does Denver just run this back, Jerry? When you look at their team, Jokic prime right now, Murray really good, but he gets hurt. His regular seasons aren't outstanding. Do they just run this back? Are the Nuggets? I don't think they can take the whole thing like they did a couple of years ago with this bunch, but what do you do if you're the Nuggets?
It's a good question. If you are going to make a deal, who's attractive to other teams? At this point, besides Jokic, Murray and his injury history, he's probably your most tradable commodity. Or maybe Aaron Gordon is probably your most tradable commodity that you're willing to trade.
Yeah,
but he's just so important to that team. A lot of times he's like their second best player. So if you're going to do something to really shake things up, you probably have to trade Jamal Murray. But he and Jokic work so well together. Nobody wants Michael Porter Jr.'s contract. So I don't know. All I know is I worry about them and their willingness to go deep into the luxury tax to try to finish this team, which is what it would take. They just need more depth. I don't think they can stomach that. As an ownership group. So I think more than likely they're going to run it back and just try to make some minor improvements on the back end of their rotation and say, hey, we were a top 4 seed. Maybe they might flirt with something, from a head coaching standpoint. There's always like rumors about this guy or that guy. Maybe they might try something like that. Although I think Adelman has done a good job. But, yeah, I think one of the things about the way the new CBA is in the NBA, it really, makes you kind of like the team you have is the team you have when you've spent your max dollars and all of this. And it's going to be really, really hard to unwind it, and it's really, really hard to double down on what you have and improve it. And so I think a lot of teams that would probably like to do something might find themselves stuck. And I think that might be Denver. I think they just might say, if we could just get a little more depth, maybe we're a 55-win team. We're a 55-win team. We're in business.
All right, one NFL question, Jerry. I'll let you run. Schedule release is tonight. It's been leaked out for 6 days. NFL makes it a big deal. We know who teams are playing, but now it lines up and the primetime games and the whole thing. When you look at it, hey, the Commanders, I think they got 7 primetime games. Did you ever think that would happen?
Crazy.
You covered this team a long time.
No, I remember when the limit used to be 5. You couldn't have more than 5, and now they started to shuffle and change that in a 17-game schedule. That's a lot, and you think about just how much creatures of habit all professional sports athletes are, but to play that many games that aren't going to be day games on Sunday, and these primetime games just have a life of their own, right? And so they can be just massively, unpredictable. I think it's going to make all of the added attention and pressure and all that. It's going to make it a lot harder for them to replicate what they did last season. And I hope Commanders fans or just people just watching the NFL and betting are considering that. This time a year ago, we were thinking that the Houston Texans were just going to be the team, right? If it wasn't the Chiefs, it was going to be the Texans. And they really had to grind and struggle just to make it back. And I think the Commanders are going to be like that too. If people are thinking they're 12-5, if they could get 12 wins again, it would be a miracle to me. I think they're more like, a 10 or 11 win team, and people are going to look at it like they're taking a step back. But in reality, I think just things that equalize, and they would still be on a good path if they did that.
I thought that was something. Washington getting 7 primetime games after a big breakout year last year for Jaden Daniels, and now they're going to be on a lot. Schedule release coming up for all the teams in just a little bit. Jerry Brewer in tonight, national sports columnist, WashingtonPost.com. Jerry, appreciate you hopping on. Thanks a lot.
Oh, anytime, man.
Appreciate it. Jerry Brewer. Find him on Twitter at Jerry Brewer and WashingtonPost.com. Great writer, great guest on tonight. He's covered sports a long time. So the opening game we know is Cowboys-Eagles. Do we have to get the Cowboys? We have to get the Cowboys opening. I could find somebody else for the Eagles. What about Eagles-Vikings? They're on the schedule. It's like week 7 or something like that. Eagles-Vikings would have been gold. J.J. McCarthy, debut. Eagles, Super Bowl champs. Vikings, I mean, that's big time. We're going to run back the Cowboys and the Eagles. Division rivalry that you can, watch 92 times. All right, Cowboys-Eagles to kick things off. Listener text coming in on the Wolves tonight. Do we believe the Wolves have a chance against Denver or OKC? We're built to compete with Denver, but Minnesota finally getting over the hump. I think this year is our best chance we'll ever get. Look at that positivity from the Wolves fans. They got to win tonight. You just have to win tonight, and you should. I mean, I'm surprised these games have been close, honestly. Without Steph in there, people haven't said much about it. Steph Curry's the offense for the Warriors. He's been gone, and the Wolves have just barely won these games, it feels like. I mean, it's bizarre. Just wild. Got to blow the Warriors away. Wolves trying to get to the Western Conference Finals back-to-back years, and can they take the next step? There's a lot of games to go. All right, let's preview the PGA Championship. Yeah, it's already tomorrow. PGA Championship, a golf major is tomorrow. Who are the best bets? We'll talk to PGA Pro Mike Mendelson next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
If you're grilling this weekend, be sure to have plenty of Artisan Hearth buns and rolls on hand. Fancy equipment and secret sauces are great, but once you've mastered the basics, it's all about the bun. Your perfectly grilled burgers and hot dogs deserve the best, and with several varieties to choose from, including Wisconsin brat buns, gourmet brioche, French, and onion rolls, the bakers of Artisan Hearth have the buns and rolls your family will love. Artisan Hearth, locally baked, delivered fresh daily.
Get away from it all in the great outdoors for lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. We make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
The hottest wins are at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resorts. Blaze into big wins with over $80,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs, including your chance to drive off in a 2025 Chevy Trailblazer. Win $300 prize packages every Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. to midnight, plus a $1,000 prize package at midnight. So qualify today and save the date for the grand prize drawing on Saturday, July 19th. Big wins all summer long at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort in Deadwood. How will your night play out?
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Thanks for spending some time with us every afternoon drive. If you missed some of the show, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. Great guest tonight. Ben Leber joined us, former Vikings linebacker, of course, now on KFAN out of the Twin Cities and the Vikings Radio Network. Ben Leber in tonight. Craig Mattick from Sioux Falls, SDPB Sports. Jerry Brewer from the Washington Post. Good guests across the board. Go to the Nate Brown Show podcast and hear every show right there on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. We are there. Just search the Nate Brown Show and you've got the podcast. Hey, PGA Championship tomorrow. Now, I covered the PGA Championship live a couple of years. Went to Whistling Straits. Good stuff. It was always at the end of the summer. It was the last one. They've moved it around now, so we're going tomorrow, the PGA Championship kicking off, and let's get some golf insight and predictions. I want some predictions from the pro at the Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club, elkhornridgeresort.com, our Fox Sports home for golf this summer. The pro's Mike Mendelson. He's back on the Nate Brown Show. Mike, good to have you, man. Are you ready for another major here? What do you think of the PGA Championship moving the calendar?
Well, it happened, what was it, probably like 4 or 5 years ago now?
Yeah.
That they moved that up. They were just trying not to be at the tail end of the season. I think the PGA kind of thought it was like the forgotten major and they wanted to bump that up. I mean, it is different to get used to not having it be last. I always thought it was kind of cool that it was last, but this, I think they try to capitalize off a little bit of the excitement in the golf season. When golf seasons, a lot of places are just kind of getting going and getting into full swing here, and I think they're trying to capitalize off that, which I can understand.
I think the PGA does a great job with it. I've covered it live. It was a lot of fun. I was at Whistling Straits. This course, the longest golf course on the PGA Tour is what it says. So what are you expecting here?
It's definitely it's definitely a long course, and the other thing that's going to factor in is it's been raining. I think it's going to stop raining today at some point, but it's been raining for like 3 straight days, like lots of rain. So it's going to play soft coming out. I think it's going to be playing very long and very, it's favorable into the greens for these guys, when it's a little softer on the greens, but it's going to be playing super. I think that big hitter here. Obviously, like you got Scheffler and McIlroy and DeChambeau. Those are guys that pop off, but length is going to be a huge factor in this golf course. It's one that Rory has really played well over the years, and I think he's going to be in the mix for sure.
So you talked before the Masters, and you say, man, Rory, he might be able to get this done. He finally achieves it. He wins the Masters, 6th golfer to complete a career Grand Slam. Where does Rory McIlroy go down in golf history?
He's one of the greatest players of all time. Obviously, there's not very many people that have done that, in the career Grand Slam.
It's a huge achievement. I mean, it just shows how diverse your game is, because the majors are quite different in how they're played. So he's been able to win all of them now. But I think, obviously you got Nicklaus, Tiger Woods. Rory's probably in the top, in the top, 10, maybe getting close to the top 5, in that of all time, I think.
Okay. I wanted to get your read on it. I wondered if Rory's going to be remembered. It's like we look back, long history of the game, some great golfers, and Rory, I think, sometimes gets overlooked. Rory McIlroy wins the Masters. You say he's got a good shot. Are you in on Scheffler? Scheffler has the betting odds right now. I know it's tough, but Scheffler, I think, the favorite right now.
I mean, this is going to be, I hope, it's going to be a really good tournament, because there's, it's going to favor those long hitters. A lot of those guys are playing good right now. Scheffler's got to win. Rory, of course, coming off the Masters. We just had, Justin Thomas just won. I think all 3 of those guys are going to be in the mix. Rory, Scheffler, Thomas, and DeChambeau just won on Live Tour. So these guys are all in good form going into this. But this tournament is one where I would lean towards Rory over Scotty, because of Rory's career at the golf course they're playing in Charlotte. I think listened to a stat the other day that says since 2010, Rory is 52 strokes better on this golf course than the next best person, because they just haven't historically played tournaments at this venue. So he's really good at this course. He's a member at this course. Plays it well, knows it well, and one of few venues that I might shade Scheffler on this one.
Great insight. PGA Pro, Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club. Mike Mendelson talking PGA Championship starts tomorrow. One of the longest courses on the PGA Tour, Quail Hollow. This is going to be a fun one. You're looking Rory again. By the way, Rory said today. DeChambeau said he didn't even talk to me in the final round of the Masters, and Rory said, well, I'm not going to be talking to you. So, Mike, give me the golf etiquette. Are you talking out there when you're trying to win the Masters?
Well, I mean, I'm talking when I play golf with people, but I'm not playing for $5 million. I think I wouldn't say that, but I mean, if you're playing in that, you're trying to win your Masters, I could see just talking to your caddy and going through it. I don't think it's any. I think a lot of stuff gets blown out of proportion in these times with, sound bites and social media and everything. And it's Rory's out there to win. He's not out there to,
I'm with you on that.
Doing at that time.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm not. This isn't just playing around at Elkhorn Ridge for fun, Mike. Come on. I mean, they're trying to win the Masters. No. So I guess Bryson DeChambeau said, yeah, he didn't even talk to me. And Rory said, well, I'm not out there to be a friend at that point. We're competing.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
Yeah, there's a lot at stake, legacy, money, all that stuff.
Okay. You're leaning Rory. Any other guy before I let you run? Keep an eye on who?
So this is an interesting one. I was listening to podcasts that I listened to, Golf Subpar. And one thing that they said was someone kind of a long shot. I know you kind of look for those sometimes, like Mackenzie Hughes from Canada, but he is a member at Quail Hollow also, and has a pretty good record on that golf course. So he might be someone that I would look at a long shot. I definitely like Justin Thomas this week.
Okay.
I think he'll be in the top 10. So there's a couple other names there. Scheffler's going to be there. I think, Hideki Matsuyama also. Him and Xander Schauffele both have crazy cut streaks in majors, and, they're always in the mix too. So I think those are a few names to look for.
PGA Championship getting ready to roll. Mike Mendelson on the Nate Brown Show, our exclusive with Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club. Get your tee time ready to go. Golf season's here. ElkhornRidgeResort.com, South Dakota's #1 public golf course. Mike, good to have you, man. Have fun this week. Thanks a lot.
Hey, Nate. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Mike Mendelson in tonight, the pro at Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club in Spearfish. ElkhornRidgeResort.com for your next tee time, our Fox Sports home for golf this summer. Who's hot and who's not? We wrap it up with a big update from a former South Dakota State player next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Fleet Farms Garden Center has discounts on hundreds of plants, flowers, vegetables, fertilizers, and more. Like Farm Fresh Selects 10-inch hanging baskets for $17.99. And large bags of Miracle-Gro all-purpose garden soil for just $7.99. Plus, get a 21-inch full-bore 3-in-1 push mower on sale for only $259.99. When it comes to the great outdoors, let Fleet Farm handle all your patio, lawn, and garden needs at the best prices guaranteed.
I started doing it once in a while. Just for fun in the car with my friends. And yeah, I knew it was deadly, even illegal, but I didn't care. I remember looking down, and she was crossing the street, and I saw her just before I killed her.
Addiction has many faces. Texting and driving when you know it's life-threatening and illegal can be one of them. Take back control. Put the phone down.
Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, the South Dakota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Sports Grass by Forever Lawn delivers a trifecta that can't be beat. Higher quality product, expertly handled custom installation, and long-term partnership. Indoors or out, small or large. Your sports grass field will continue to look and feel great after years of play. Call 605-831-9026 or Google Forever Lawn in South Dakota. With dealerships on both sides of the state, we're ready to help you put the best into your sports fields. Forever Lawn in South Dakota.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A high wind watch begins at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning and remains in effect until 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Cloudy skies tonight with a slight chance of rain showers. Lows dip down to about 48, northwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected again tomorrow, chance of rain showers. Daytime highs approaching 60. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 55 degrees.
Chatting with Brian at Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail. Well, time to see how your car will weather the winter. That it is. Let's make sure your vehicle is ready to handle the warm months ahead. Being a AAA and ASE certified shop, I know you guys are well equipped to do just that. Justin and our techs have all the experience you need in diagnosing and repairing whatever may be ailing your vehicle. And if finances are tight for customers, you can help there? Yes, we can. We offer the AutoPass card, which has really been a huge help for people who are in dire need of repairs. Call us with any questions on this program, or you can get an answer in minutes right from our homepage at anytimeanytime.com. Just click the AutoPass Apply Now button. What a great option for those who have repairs that just can't wait. Absolutely. It's been a fantastic opportunity for many people. Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail, everybody. The place to trust. Your complete AAA and ASE certified automotive repair specialist. See anytimeanytime.com and at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
Ever dreamed of building something amazing? Builders First Source in Rapid City, Spearfish, and Hot Springs is your go-to building materials partner. Whether you're building new or giving new life to an old space, we provide step-by-step guidance from drafting and cabinetry design to lifelike visualization and top-quality materials. It's your vision, and we're here to make it real. Visit BLDR.com. Builders First Source, your Black Hills partner in building every step of the way.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
Who's hot and who's not every night at this time, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. Tonight, your locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch. Who's hot and who's not? Hey, let's go to an update from Mark Gronowski. In my Who's Hot category, the former South Dakota State quarterback came back to SDSU before he takes off and is the Iowa QB this next season. He officially graduated a Master's of Engineering from Mark Gronowski, South Dakota State. What a great guy. We had him on all season long. Congrats. Mark Gronowski, a true student-athlete, Masters of Engineering. You're graduated in Brookings this past weekend. In our Pizza Ranch, who's not tonight? All right, I've got one for you. Clemson just started doing alcohol sales. In my who's not, boy, they've been having fun. They've only had some baseball games and some softball games. So you're thinking, not that big a deal with the alcohol sales. They haven't hit the football season yet. Through their 8 baseball games, 5 softball games, and a Savannah Bananas game. $470,000 in gross revenue just from alcohol sales. And you wonder why the universities are going, hey, we need to sell some alcohol here. Yeah, so they haven't even started football season. Can you imagine? Clemson sees over $470K in revenue after first month of selling alcohol at sporting events. Youchie. I hope they're having a good time. Good luck in the football season. Revenue's going to be flowing, but so is the wild videos, too, of people getting in dust-ups. So have fun, everybody. Thanks for listening to The Nate Brown Show. The podcast is going up right now. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.
It's the kid